we're fighting the woke mind virus, which I consider to be a civilizational threat. To be political, then yes.
Is there a part of you that regrets
yes,
that?
I don't know if this is necessarily sort of one candidate or another candidate, but it's I'm generally against things that are anti-meritocratic or where there's an attempt to suppress discussion, where even discussing a topic is, not allowed.
Well, I mean, that's it because of that battle against the woke mind virus.
The woke mind virus is communism rebranded.
Elon Musk isn't just a tech visionary. He's become a vocal critic of woke culture's absurdities. From his companies pushing the limits of human potential to his fierce defense of free speech, Musk has never been one to shy away from controversy. But what really sets him apart is his willingness to call out the contradictions and pitfalls of the woke agenda. Check out this next clip, as it really makes you think how far this ideology has gone.
Information that was relevant to the public. That's a terrible thing that happened. That's election interference.
But how do you make a choice? You don't see, I mean, in terms of when you're going to engage. I mean, for example, even today, Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. You basically...
It reminds me of my vetoes. It's like, calm down, people. This is not like made a federal case out of it.
You also, you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, why share it? Especially, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you? Why not just say, hey, I think this? You can tell me, we can talk about it over there, you can tell your friends, but why share it widely?
Freedom of speech, I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are, but I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got a... It puts you in the middle of the partisan divide in the country. It makes you a lightning rod for criticism. I mean, do you like that? People today saying he's an anti-Semite. I don't think you are.
No, I'm definitely. I'm like a pro-Semite, if anything.
No matter how much backlash he receives, he sees through the hollow virtue signaling, the selective outrage, and the hypocrisy of a movement that claims to champion freedom but ends up stifling it. He's taken on some of the most untouchable topics, making people question the sanity of the idea being pushed. Musk is not afraid to voice the thoughts most people keep to themselves, and that's why his words resonate.
Essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier, and I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he...
That was a lie right from the outset. No reliable clinician ever believed that. There was never any evidence for that. It's because of the underlying depression and anxiety, and not because of the gender dysphoria. And every goddamn clinician knows that too. And they're too cowardly to come out and say it. Next stand up. It's like, I see. So you're telling parents that unless they agree to this radical transformation, that their children are going to die, and you think that's moral, and you think that's true. That is so pathological that it's almost incomprehensible. I can't imagine a therapist doing anything worse than that, or sitting by idly.
The woke movement became personal for Musk when his transgender son Xavier publicly severed ties with him and legally changed his name. This isn't just a case of family disagreement, it's a snapshot of how the woke narrative has invaded personal relationships, tearing families apart.
Because I think you're dealing with big civilizational issues and problems, and I was right on your page. I think Twitter is one of them. I mean, you have talked about this woke mind virus. First of all, what is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic, and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. Those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. Is that it's often anti-meritocratic. You can't question things. Almost synonymous would be cancel culture. And obviously people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean, like I at least think of myself as a moderate. So at least I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy, electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not not exactly far right.
Culture claims to be about love and acceptance, but in practice, it often demands blind loyalty to the ideology, even at the cost of familial bonds. It's heartbreaking and absurd that in the name of progress, a father and son have been driven apart. This isn't just Musk's story. It's happening to families across the world where ideological indoctrination is prioritized over genuine understanding and connection. This next clip exposes the absurdity of woke-held beliefs with no logical backbone.
To be throttled.
That everyone has to buy a subscription and we don't make exceptions for anyone. And I think if I want the New York Times, I have to pay for a subscription, and they don't give me a free subscription.
Was it specific to the Times?
They didn't buy a subscription.
Is there a conversation that you had with somebody? You said, look, I'm unhappy with the Times. I don't like their content or whatever.
An organization that refuses to buy a subscription is not going to be recommended.
But then what does that say about free speech? And what does that say about amplifying
free speech is not
certain
exactly
voices?
free. It costs a little bit. South Park, where they say, you know, freedom isn't free, it costs $1.05 or whatever. But it's pretty cheap, okay?
Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter wasn't just a business move, it was a declaration of war against woke censorship. Twitter had long been criticized for silencing voices that didn't conform to the approved narrative, and Musk saw an opportunity to restore balance. His goal? Make Twitter a public square again, where ideas, no matter how controversial, could be debated openly.
And a billionaire maverick, Elon Musk, who has vowed to make the social media platform the home of free speech again. He tweeted that free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy. And he thinks wokeism is a mind virus and the greatest threat to modern civilization. It's a great day for free speech and a very bad day for snowflake woke celebrities who are so petrified by free speech online that some of them are even quitting Twitter because of Musk. What fantastic news. So thank you, Elon. You're already working your magic already.
So how are you supposed to have a good, proper election if there's no ID? And free speech is the bedrock of democracy.
He immediately set to work, firing executives and restoring banned accounts that had been exiled for the crime of speaking their minds. But this move didn't just irritate the woke activists, it terrified them. For years, they had weaponized platforms like Twitter.
Bring back to Twitter
dissent.
is reasonable exchange of ideas. I think we have a real problem with discourse, particularly like discourse on Twitter, right? Like if you post something and then someone posts something that opposes what you say, like, and then you got to like formulate it. Like some people don't want that. You get all this positive feedback from all the people that agree with you. And like, yes, I want to amplify that. But it's a bad way to exchange ideas and to dialogue about stuff.
There you got Joe Rogan praising Elon Musk for wanting to bring back what he referred to as a reasonable exchange of ideas. In the past, it's been a reasonable exchange of progressive ideas, and conservatives have felt like they were punished.
What you've seen with Twitter is a very woke workforce who have basically been, shadow banning conservative commentators from Twitter for a long time. We've all known this. It is, to me, completely ridiculous that Donald Trump, a recently serving president of the United States, is currently banned from Twitter. That, to me, exposes the hypocrisy at the heart of what's been going on. And I think Elon Musk, look, I love Elon Musk. I think he's a slightly crazy guy. He's brilliant. He's a genius.
One of Musk's biggest critiques of woke culture is its blatant double standards. When he questioned why Twitter banned certain opinions while promoting others, the silence was deafening. How can a platform claim to support diversity of thought when it only allows one kind of thinking?
That dude has literally saved free speech.
Yes.
And that sounds so stupid to some people that are against it. Like, oh my God, you think that Nazis and hate speech and if people can't highlight how egregious some of the things they're saying are, how awful some of the things they're saying are, and also get real information about, like what's really going on in Venezuela, what's really going on in El Salvador, what's everywhere.
And these platforms weren't about promoting healthy dialogue. They were about enforcing ideological conformity. He's shown that the woke ideology isn't interested in fairness or freedom. It's about power. Stay safe from the woke virus and stand your ground. If you want to see more beatdowns of a failed ideology, check out this next video. Please subscribe so we can promote free speech and restore normal order to our planet. Cue the outro song.
We are the anti-woke police, here to save the world, you see.